we're not where we used to be. And so what we've come to learn is that when we talk about mindset, we can control our destiny. We can control what we see and what we don't see. And so what I've come to really what I want to do today is I want to begin to build a relationship with our future selves. Yeah. I'll say it again. I'll say it again. Because shifting from a live for today mindset to one centered on the future self is a powerful transformation. Yeah, it's not something that we can just glance by. It doesn't mean sacrificing joy or spontaneity. I know we love all that stuff. It doesn't mean you have to sacrifice everything, but it means making choices that your future self will thank you for. Yeah, come on, somebody just say that. I want to make decisions that I'll be thankful that I made. Yeah, I know right now it might feel good, but by the time I'm 10 years into the future, I'm going to be looking at myself like, why did I do that? And so the mindset shift says, how can I make my future self proud today? And so watch this, guys, because before we get into that, I want to hit us with our affirmations for the day. And as we dive into these affirmations, I don't want you to just repeat what I'm saying, but I want you to intentionally close your eyes, say these things, and visualize it as you're saying it. And so the first affirmation that I have for us today, as we look at our lives, I just want you to repeat this after me, but I will make myself proud. Yeah. Come on. I know you used to want to make your mom proud. You want to make your dad proud. What if today you just made a decision to make yourself proud? Have you ever even said that to yourself? Do you know what you can or can't do to make yourself proud? I'm going to make myself proud. I'm going to stick to my word today. Yeah, I'm going to grind a little bit harder. I make a decision starting right now in my life. The only person I got to make proud is me and God. Yeah, hallelujah. Come on, you got to say it out your own mouth. Don't just hear it. Close your eyes and say it to yourself. And as you say it, think about what are some things that you can do that will make you proud. Yeah, come on, don't just say it because it sounds good. What are some actual tangible things that you can do that will make you proud? What makes you feel good? How when I made it to my grandson's football game and he smiled at me after he scored, I felt good. I was proud of myself for showing up because my old self was high, strung out, missed everything. Huh? Come on, let's stop playing with this personal development and let's start being honest. Let's start being for real. Let's start transforming our lives. So come on, the second one. Watch this, and this is why this is important. Because for some of us, we can't get to the next level. We can't allow our lives to be transformed because we're so worried about what other people got to say. And so for the second affirmation, just remind yourself that your opinion doesn't define me. Yeah. Come on, I'll say it again. Your opinion doesn't define me. They say, Tavon, you talk too loud, you're screaming. I say, I'm energized, baby. Your opinion, it doesn't define me. I'm thankful that you have that opinion. You know, you're entitled to your opinion. But guess what your opinion, that's last time I checked, my wife did the bills. Did anybody's opinion pay for them? Huh? That car you driving in, did anybody's opinion pay for that? That house you living in. But what happens is people start giving their opinions and now we start latching on to these opinions. Nope. Remind yourself today, your opinion doesn't define me. Yep. Because as I walk in my purpose, guess what? You might not like it, but if God is pleased, guess what? Yeah. Come on. We're going deeper today. We're going deeper. Your opinion doesn't define me. Watch this. The last one. I just have to remind you. Nobody's been here like you've been here before. How the earth's been around for a while. The cavemen couldn't do it like you could do it. The hunter and gatherers couldn't do it like you could do it. Come on, I'm talking to somebody. Yeah, come on. In the biblical times, there was a bunch of great people. They couldn't do it like you could do it. 1900, they couldn't do it like you could do it. I know your ancestors might have been slaves. They wouldn't have been able to do it like you could do it. Come on. Let's just be real. The 1950s, the 1960s, the 1970s. I know the earth has been around a while. And the whole time the earth's been around, you know what I've learned? Ain't nobody been here like you. Yeah, so just go ahead and remind yourself that you are nature's greatest miracle. Yeah, come on, I am nature's greatest miracle. I didn't know I was. I didn't know until I started realizing that nobody's been able to do this like I've been able to do this. They don't look like I look and think like I think. They don't walk like I walk and talk like I talk. They tried. Many have come, but I'm one of one. Hallelujah. So watch this, guys. As we jump in today, remember mindset, right? This is still our mindset of May. And so as we jump in, I want us to, the mindset shift that we're supposed to experience today, that I want us to begin to develop, is there's this word instant gratification. Yep, and what I've learned is, coming from Jamaica, it wasn't a big microwave thing. And here in the U.S., I've learned, right, a lot of people would prefer a microwavable meal because it's faster, it's more convenient, and most times it's easier. But the revelation comes that the food that's in the microwave, if I could just be honest, doesn't always taste as good as the food that was cooked in the oven, the food that was cooked on the stovetop. If I could just be honest with you, when you season the food a day or two before and you let the seasoning sit and you let the seasoning sink into the food and it soaks into the food and then you cook it, it tastes even better. In other words, the delayed gratification is even better once it actualizes itself. The problem is instant gratification is just so appealing. And I say it's appealing because I know I'm stressed to blank out. And me managing my stress and putting my stress off and delaying, I know it doesn't feel great in the moment because I'm still stressed. But if I smoke this cigarette right now, it's going to alleviate the stress, the instant gratification. Right? I know I'm supposed to go to the gym because 5 years from now I have a fitness goal. But the instant gratification says that I just want to go to Chick-fil-A because they got these new pineapple smoothies and they're just so good. And right now, guess what I want to do? And so as we begin to train our mind, I'm not going to say that it's something easy, but remember, this is something that we're going to dedicate our lives to. And so what I want to do today is as we build a relationship with our future selves, I want to provide some tangible ways that we can get ourselves to the next level with our mindset, with our competition of me versus me. And so what I want to do is I want us to introduce ourselves to our future selves. Yeah, because building a relationship with your future self is beneficial because you're more likely to act in your future interests. Yeah, if you feel connected to that version of yourself, does that make sense? And so if you feel connected to the future version of you, you're more likely to make decisions that align with the future version of you rather than the current version of you. But for some of us, we've never even thought, seen, experienced, or met our future selves. Today, that's going to change. And so the first thing that we're going to do, or the first thing that I want to introduce to you, the first strategy as we begin to introduce ourselves to our future selves, is this strategy of writing a letter. Yeah, and somebody's writing this down as I'm talking because, again, I can just introduce you to strategies. I can't force you to do them. But writing a letter to and from yourself every month. And the letter talks about your goals, your strengths, your weaknesses, the things that you've been through, the things that you're trying to accomplish, the people that you're trying to turn yourself into. But writing a letter makes you more cognizant of it. And the reason I say this is because the craziest thing, but I remember being in jail, and there was this guy who had life. And I don't know if you know this or not, but like sometimes if somebody gets like a year in jail or 3 years or 5 years, maybe even 10, you can hold them down. You know they're coming home at some point. You can be there to support them. But when people get life, what we've come to learn is a lot of times the lifers don't have too many people that are there for them. And so this one lifer, he didn't have anybody to talk or communicate with. And so what he would do is he would write himself letters. And so when the CO would come with the letters, guess what he would say? They would say, cell number 9. And my guy would come out acting as if somebody wrote him a letter. And the whole time he was writing it to himself. And I thought this was crazy. And then I realized mentally, he didn't matter who was sending the letter. He just wanted to hear his name called to receive a piece of mail. So mentally, he didn't go crazy and would still be able to communicate with somebody. Today, I want you to be able to communicate to yourself. And so I said, write a letter. But the second thing I want you to start doing is I want you to start visualizing your future self. Yeah. So at least once a week, I want you to look at what you value. I want you to look like what you want to become. I want you to think about it. I think that's something everybody can do. Once a week, just spend some intentional time thinking to yourself, who am I trying to become? Well, what do I value? Who am I truly? Because again, guys, if I'm just being honest with you, the reason a lot of people stagnate is because they never take a second to even consider these things. They never think about who it is that they are. All they think about is a day to day. And we know if all you think about is day to day, guess what your life is going to resemble? Yeah, so watch this. And I got to keep going. We got a lot to get to, but this is important because the second thing, I know I got 4 things for us. The second thing, if we're going to start changing our mindset and changing our relationship with ourselves, the second thing is I want you to reframe daily decisions. Yeah, reframe daily decisions. In other words, change your mindset about the decisions that you make daily. What does that mean, Tavon? That means instead of asking, what do I want now? I want you to have this mindset shift. Yep. Instead of thinking about right now, I want the mindset shift says, what would my future self think? Yeah, come on. I'm just asking you. Yeah, I know right now you want to do that. I know you think you want to start that. But what would the future you think? And then watch this. What would I wish I would have done 5 years from now? Yeah, asking these two simple questions is an easy way to reframe our decision making on a daily basis. Yeah, come on, because on a day-to-day basis, the habits and the decisions that we make are actually what's propelling us or preventing us from our next level. All right, and so I have to keep going. I have to keep going because the first thing, come on, this is good. It is good. You have to build a relationship with your future self by writing letters and communicating with your future self. Right. The second thing is you reframe your daily decision making. I'm not thinking about right now. Instead of asking myself, do I really want that ice cream right now? I begin to ask myself different questions. Yet the third thing is that you use, come on, you use identity based habits. Yeah, habits that align with your identity. So watch this. Instead of I want to work out, right? The mindset shift says I'm the type of person who prioritizes my health. Yeah, come on, come on. Let me just real quick. Let me put a pen in it right there. Can you guys see the difference? I'm a person that works out. No, I prioritize my health. Can you see the difference in the mindset? All right, good. Come on, I see it's in the chat. I just had to make sure because this is great information, but if it's not applicable, it's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to move the needle for you. And I don't want to shortcut anybody in here. I want to make sure that we're getting something out of it. And so watch this, guys, because identity-based habits, what do they say? Identity-based habits say, I'm the kind of person that works out because I prioritize my health, right? So write this out. My future self is someone who, and then I want you to finish that sentence for me. My future self is someone who works out. My future self is someone who is a business owner. My future self is someone who is a great dad. My future self is someone who is, come on, I need you to finish that sentence. Come on, I got some time today. Yep, my future self, and then you finish that sentence because this is how you build a relationship. We haven't spent no time thinking about our future self, and you know what's going to come. This is what blows my mind. What's going to come is your future self. And so if we don't plan and prepare for our future self, and then our future self comes, guess what's going to happen? We're going to be unprepared for our future self. And when we're unprepared, guess what happens? Chaos. When we're unprepared, guess what happens? Life. And so we're trying to prepare our future selves by mentally saying to ourselves exactly what we're going to become, exactly what we're going to do with our time, exactly where we're spending our time and our energy at. And so again, the sentence is my future self is someone who, yep, and then you go ahead and finish that. And now watch this, guys, watch this, because as I prepare to land this plane, there's two strategies, there's two models that I want to introduce. And the reason I wanted to end with this is because these are things that you can do every single day. These are strategies that you can implement if you're serious about changing your life, if you're serious about getting to that next level. Because just to be honest with you guys, I know everybody's not. Right? Like statistics show 88% of people naturally don't execute, which means they have great thoughts and do nothing with them. And so, if only 12% of the world's population are natural executors, meaning they can see something from start to finish and finalize it, what that actually means is that most of us need some type of strategy, structure, or system in place for us to be effective. Yeah, come on, we're going deep. I told you this is you versus you because the problem is some of us hear great information and apply nothing. For some of us, nothing has changed, right? Because the strategies and the systems that we're learning sound great, but we don't write them down. And by the time we get on the highway for the morning, we forget. The first hour on our shift, we done forgot. So it's important. It's important. So watch this, guys. The first strategy, the three selves model. The three selves model. Three selves model. Just write that down for me. Three selves model. Three selves model. Matter of fact, let me jump into this chat with you guys. I'm sorry, I ain't been in the chat all day. Yeah, three selves model. The three selves model. The three selves model. Three selves. Come on, you guys ain't talking to me in the chat. I don't want to do this by myself. Yeah, I know sometimes I talk to myself, but I don't want to do this by myself. I got to make sure you guys are still here and not sleeping. I know it's Tuesday. I know you're probably getting tired of this, but believe it or not, this is still important to those that want to change. Yeah, yeah. Yep. So watch this. The three selves model, mindset shift. The first one is the present self. You begin to ask yourself, who am I now in this current moment? Who am I? Right? Yep. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Like most of the time, I ask you, you don't even know. So the second one, three selves, right? The first self is present self. The second self is bridge self. Who am I becoming? And then the third self is the future self. Who do I want to be? Yet when we ask ourselves these three questions as we enter each day, what we'll begin to see is the mindset shift that's important. Because the present self and the bridge self and the future self don't act together, right? The present self, who am I now, doesn't think, who do I want to be? You're just focused on now. The bridge self, who am I becoming, doesn't, come on, okay, you guys got it, you guys got it. So watch this, guys. Watch this, because this is the most important model right here. This is the one that can change your life if you let it. Yeah, this is called the 10-10-10 model. And so as we look at delayed gratification, this is a strategy to help you with delayed gratification. Because delayed gratification, again, mindset shift, you got to catch this. Believe it or not, it's not about self-denial. That's what a lot of people think, right? That's why people struggle with delayed gratification. It's like I have to deny myself everything until later. That's not necessarily true. It's not about self-denial. It's about choosing a better reward. Yeah, I'll say it again. It's not about self-denial. It's about choosing a better reward. This right now or that later, which is better. And remember, like the little kids with the marshmallows, oftentimes we think that one marshmallow right now is better, but what if 5 later is actually what you're going for? You just have to discipline yourself. And so as we look at delayed gratification, this strategy I want to introduce is called the 10-10-10 model. Yeah, in other words, what decisions would I make if I consider the next 10 minutes? What decisions would I make if I consider the next 10 months? And what decisions would I make if I consider the next 10 years? Again, as I draw your attention, guys, and as I prepare to land this plane, the biggest thing that sticks out to me as we dive into this concept of delayed gratification, of me versus me, of me mastering myself, the biggest thing is, believe it or not, is just being cognizant of what you actually want. If you ask me, a lot of times people give into instant gratification because something appears better, it looks better. And if something looks better today, it's because you're unfocused on what you're actually trying to get to tomorrow. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple calls back, we said when you're focused on your goals, things just don't appear to be as interesting. And so watch this, guys, because the last thing that I want us to do is I want us to start practicing delayed gratification on a small scale. Remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. Small steps, great distances. 1 inch will lead to a mile. And so I want us to start a small delay reward practice. Yeah, that's a new word, a reward practice. And so when we can successfully practice delayed gratification, I want you to begin to reward yourself. And so watch this, guys. I want us to start as small as 10 minutes. Wait 10 minutes before indulging into a craving, and then see if you still want it. Yeah, but I'll say it again. As we land this plane and we enter this day, the tangible thing, if you don't remember anything from this call, as we enter today, anytime you feel the urge or you feel the craving, I just want you to wait 10 minutes to just practice self-disciplining yourself. Because the thing I love is you can still do it. As soon as that 10 minute and 1 second hit, have at it. But if you can discipline yourself just to wait 10 minutes, guess what else you can do? You can discipline yourself to wait an hour. You can discipline yourself to wait a day. You can discipline yourself to wait a week. I'm not saying it's easy. Your brain is a muscle, and you're basically strengthening your discipline muscle. You're strengthening your delayed gratification muscle. And now, when you save 2 years for the house and you never dipped into your savings and all the money's there, it all makes sense. Now, when you're saving for the car, you're saving for your kids' AAU trip, it all makes sense. Like, I've come to learn that a lot of times it's not we have a problem, it's just discipline. It's us versus us. And for some of us, we've been losing. But just do me a favor, guys, because I introduced this, and I just want to make sure. Because I'm ready for you guys. I don't want us to keep struggling, because I'm coaching people, and we have kids in sports, and life is life for us ourselves, and we have all these goals, and a lot of stuff comes down to finances. But what I've learned is the truth is most of us know how to make money. It's not the finances that's the problem. It's the other part. It's the discipline. It's the consistency. It's the other part. And so when we begin to master ourselves in our us versus us, we begin to get on the other side of that. And so, guys, as I prepare to pray us out, the last thing I just want to make sure, I think everybody can do this, but I don't like to assume. If you can start a small delay practice today, I just want you to jump in there and just say mindset, right? Because that's what it takes. It takes a mindset to say I'm willing. But today, whenever you have a craving, just wait 10 minutes. And after that 10 minutes, have at it. But if you think that you can do that, like just for today, I can wait 10 minutes for my cravings. Yeah, just jump into the chat for me and drop mindset. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because when that cake pops up and everybody starts eating that cake, I wasn't even wanting cake, but the way you're eating that cake, yeah, I told my wife that before. I'm like, man, I wasn't even hungry, but when you eat, the food just looks better. But I'm just gonna wait 10 minutes today before I have